Now, here's my neighbor coming to bang on my door, almost breaking down my door. If I didn't have a chair in front of my door, I'm sure my door would have broken down. There's a maniac that lives next door who apparently got pissed off because I had my music on. I've been living here for 8 years, and not one of my neighbors has ever complained about my music. And somebody who does have a problem with my music does not have the right, legally or otherwise, to come banging on my door like a maniac like he did. Now, here's a recording of it because he later called the police because I threatened to call the police on him. So he hurried up and called the police. But here's a recording of the banging he did on my door. And so if police do come here, he's the one that's getting charged. In fact, I'm going to get a peace bond and a non-harassment order against him immediately. I'm not going to put up with this type of behavior. Now, here's him banging on my door.
Whoa. Hey!
UPP to report the attempted break and enter by my neighbor. Hi there, I'd like to report something.
Okay, for what town?
For Cobalt, Ontario.
Sure, what address did it happen at?
19 Watson Place.
19 what, sorry?
19 Watson Place.
Watson Place?
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened?
Well, I would like to have have an officer come here and take my report of an attempted break-in and entering and damage to my front door in the process with the Steeltoe boots. And I've got a recording, and I want him to come and check my door, and I'd like to have him charged with breaking and entering. And,
so is your house someone tried to break into?
Yeah.
And what was the suspect's name, sorry?
I don't know his name. It's the neighbor next door. He just moved in there. He thought my music was too loud, so he came here trying to break down my door to harm me, begging me to basically call police while he was doing it.
Oh, so you were home when this happened?
Yes.
Why didn't you call police when it was happening?
I don't really want to go through that right now. I'd just like to have some officers who are not in a conflict of interest with me and not getting sued by me to attend.
Okay, well then, what's your name?
Chantal Gelina?
I saw your last name, Chantal.
G-E-L-I-N-A-S.
Oh, sorry, is it G or J?
Sorry, G-E-L-I-N-A-S.
And your first name, Chantal, just C-H-A-N-T-E-L?
T-A-L.
A-L. Your date of birth?
April 27th, 1976.
Your phone number?
705-492-2242. Now,
Okay,
if possible, I would like for this not to be aired over the air.
Okay.
And also for if, like, when an officer's on his way, just when he's, like, near my house, just to give me a call, and then I'll go out and speak with them because nobody's coming in my house.
Well, if you want them to investigate, they might have to, like, enter the house to see the damage if it's
The
at your
damage
door.
is just outside my door.
Okay, well, anyway. Okay, so when did this happen?
September 7th
September 7th?
at about
At what time?
At about 3 a.m. About quarter after 3 a.m. I guess.
So, like, was it, like, this morning at 3 a.m.? So it would be technically, or was it yesterday?
Like yesterday at 3 a.m.
Okay, so it was yesterday at 3 a.m.
Like
Okay.
September 7th. So I guess what he did is he came here banging, and then I was telling him I was going to call the police. And anyways, I think his girlfriend was in the house at the time and did call the police because of my music. And then the police showed up here. They never came to speak with me, and I never bothered to go out. They just, I guess, were patrolling on foot to see if they could hear anything or whatever. But they never came knocking here, so I know it was Echo 406 and 408 who dealt with that call. But
Oh, okay. That's Scanner.
But yeah. So anyways, so I saw them come here and get out of their vehicle and come to my door, but they never knocked or anything. So.
Okay. Well, if they were just investigating, like, at the time, a noise complaint, and they didn't hear any noise, then there would be no reason for them to attend.
Yeah. So basically, he was attempting to break into my house to harm me there. I was recording the whole thing, so I'd like to have an officer come here. It was pretty scary.
Yeah, for sure. I'll add this in, and an officer will be there as soon as they can, okay?
Okay, just have him call me before so I know to go out and meet with them. And just ensure it's nobody that's in a conflict of interest with me because I really don't feel like dealing with people who have previously discriminated me and falsely imprisoned me and falsely created mental health records against me and stuff like that.
I don't know any of your background. I don't know any of that. I'm just going to enter it, and then the officers will figure it out. I'm sure if there's something going on between the two of you, and even the officer, they're not going to want to attend either because it's ongoing, right?
Well, I shouldn't be refused the police service because they're getting sued for falsely imprisoning me. And I shouldn't be treated with discrimination because of it. So I don't know. You guys can figure it out. I don't know. There's a lot of them that are in a conflict with me. That's the reason why I don't call police.
No one's going to show up. I'm just saying, I don't know who's in a conflict with you. I'm sure the officers do, though, so they'll figure out who's going to attend.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. As long as you let them know and then they figure it out amongst themselves because,
Exactly. Because I
you
don't
know.
know all that, so anyway.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
No, it's okay. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. So I'm going to call my voicemail because Lori Lalonde left a message there. I consider this message to be self-serving, ignorant, and a form of criminal harassment. She knew she should have never taken the call.
Your password. You have 2 saved wireless voice messages.
Now listen to her
Saved
tone.
message. Hi, Chantal. It's Constable Malone calling. I think our phone call got interrupted accidentally. going to give us a call back at the police station so I can hear some of your complaint, I'd be more than willing to hear it. Thank you. Bye-bye. To erase this message, press 7. Message will be saved for 5 days. Next saved message. Hi, this message will be saved for 3 days. End of messages. Hi, Chantal. It's Constable Malone calling. I think our phone call got interrupted accidentally. Going to give us a call back at the police station so I can hear some of your complaint. I'd be more than willing to hear it. Thank you. Bye-bye. To erase this message, press received at 4:46 p.m. from
September
an outside
8th,
caller.
4:46 p.m.
To erase this message will be saved for 5 days. Next.
And this is the type of conduct that I find unacceptable. She used that position of trust as a police officer, knowing she had SIU and OIPRD complaints against her, and she's still criminally harassing me. She and her friends are still listening through my device by turning on microphones and cameras, and I'm sure that's what she did immediately after she committed this crime with me. She sat back with her friends, her racist friends, and listened to me inside my home react to the crime she had just committed against me. And Sergeant Perry, who later took my call, he's in a conflict of interest because he used to curl with the father of my child. He curls with Stephen Meunier, which is a police officer who's cousins to my other child's father. And he also curls with Judge Gordon, his best friend, who I have several judicial council complaints against. Therefore, Sergeant Perry and Officer Lalonde knew full well they were in a conflict of interest to deal with me, but yet did so to criminally harass me. For Sergeant Perry to tell me not to call back when I fear for my safety and my life from this neighbor trying to break into my house on September 7th is unacceptable. That is called neglect of duty and a denial of police service, which is an offense under the Police Services Act. And they can't say that they failed to, or that they did provide me with a policing service by sending Lori Lalonde. That would be a farce.
Talking about it. What can I do? You want me to talk to the neighbor about kicking on your door and that?
Well, you heard, he was definitely trying to break it down, you know?
Well,
had he entered, he would have harmed me. If I didn't have a door there, if I didn't have a chair in front of my door, he had Steeltoe boots on. Did you see the dents on my door?
Now, I'll take a picture of the door, too.
And I want him charged with attempted breaking and entering.
Yeah, I can't do that. From the evidence that I've got, there's...
Well,
yeah.
If you listen to the audio, I've got the audio. I could send it to you so you could really listen to it. But
I recorded it. But
he's kicking so hard, my door was bouncing open. Like I said, if I didn't have I was ready to kill this guy if he entered. I thought it was the guy that showed up on December 22nd. I almost had a heart attack. You can hear it.
I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to go talk to him, but I can't lay charges for what's happened there.
Well, he damaged my door.
Well, I'm going to take pictures of it.
And he had Steeltoe boots on.
Yeah.
And the officer that came later was Hopkins, which is the guy who falsely imprisoned me, right?
Okay.
And when he was doing that...
Is the neighbor home now?
I don't know.
Okay.
When he was doing that, and I told him I was calling the police, he told me to call police.
Yeah, I could hear
you know what I
in
mean?
the report.
And he's kicking harder, and that scared me so much that... To me, it wasn't an isolated incident. It had everything to do...
Yeah, I believe it was scary, but I can't...
I believe it has something to do with Lori Lalonde and the same group of people. I don't even know what his last name is. But if I knew his last name, I could probably find 1 degree of separation to the people that are involved in the scanner crime with me.
Well, I'm going to find out, and I will be talking to him and stuff.
Because I'm not going to put up with that. And, that's harassment, and it scared me. And he attempted to break and enter into my house. If I wouldn't have been here and there wouldn't have been a chair in front of the door, he would have kicked that door open. Look at the dents he did on there. It's a steel door. You have to be kicking pretty hard, to make those dents. And he was kicking hard. And you know how loud it was when you were turning it down? That's how loud it was when he came.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure all the neighbors heard it because I was yelling, you know.
I am going to deal with it. I'm just saying I can't.
And then the other neighbor, come and see the camera he's got pointed there. So, like, the camera could see me right here, you know? So, like, the camera's right there. I kind of moved some branches on the tree. This one. There's the camera.
That neighbor's camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what is he looking at?
It's
My window. It's looking at my window and my door. And it's recording audio, and I think it records both sides. Like, what is he protecting here? You know? There's nothing that he's protecting. It's not his property he's protecting. He's watching me. And like, I go to let out my dog at night, and I'm right here. Like, look, you're right here. I've got videos, like, you know, I'm in my bedroom window. You open up the curtains, like, there it is. Like, you know, I measured it. It's 18 feet away, like, on an angle. And, oh, no, you can't see it good. Hold on. There's like 8 cents. I got a video of it, actually. Like, you got to stand up and look at it from the top here to see the glare. Because I got a video when it was raining the other day. You see it much better. Now, do you want to hear what Lori Lalonde's call was?
Well, no.
She ended up leaving me a message, that I hadn't heard until after I got off the phone with you.
Right.
She left me a message after I hung up on her, saying, "Oh, I think our call got accidentally disconnected or interrupted or something like that." And she says, "But I'll be more than happy to listen to your complaint. If you want to call us back at the OPP. Okay, bye-bye."
That's yesterday?
Yeah. That's criminal harassment.
So
she falsely imprisoned me. First of all, like, after that happened at the gas station, Lori Lalonde came here, tricked me, like when my phone died from the SIU.
Yeah.
While I was on the phone, Larry called and made that complaint. She tricked me out there, said she was here to talk to me about the USB stick I gave to her on December 26th.
Okay.
I left my door open. I went out in my PJs. I went in the car, and she entrapped me in there. And then I couldn't get out. And she started accusing me of trying to run over Luke at the gas station. In her brief, she says that I knew where they were. I was yelling at them as I was coming in. I tried to run over him twice. I went around him. He was pinned against the wall. None of that happened.
You've got a complaint for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll have to deal with that.
Yeah,
like
but for her to deal with me like she did yesterday after she did that and choked me at the hospital and all that, like, and I specifically asked a dispatcher for somebody that wasn't in a conflict, and it was the same dispatcher there that dealt with me December. Like, they work the same shift, it seems.
Yeah.
Okay, now you guys aren't safe.
Because I've never met you before, but I've been here for a lot of years.
Yeah.
So it's like you're dealing with the same police officers a lot, yeah.
And they're all related to Dan Dawson, and they're all relatives of my ex, right? So I go to court, and there's Joelle Rose, Larry's the informer, making a false complaint. Joelle's the commander. The guard is bro, and they're all, you know. And I know you got to go, but
I do.
I just I don't know what to do here because I don't feel safe with this. I don't feel safe with him.
But I can't go ahead with charges for this. I can't. Like, that's not an attempted break-in.
It is.
No, it's not.
Do you want to listen to the audio again?
I've got it recorded on
Listen to it again. And you pretend like you're at home alone with your children.
I'm not saying
and
it's
you
not
don't know
scary.
who the hell is there.
I'm not saying it's not scary. I get it's scary. I've got to deal with it.
It's damage to property, for sure.
Well, there is some light dents on there, which I took a picture of.
Like, I don't know if you can't see it good, but you have to, like, stand here to see them. But in my video when it was raining, you see it really good.
I took a couple of pictures.
But he was just, like, kicking, like, full full
And I could hear both
swing.
of you on the recording. I'm just saying, I'll deal with
Listen to it again, because if he doesn't get charged, I'm going to have to sue the OPP, because I will not be terrorized like this any further by any fucking men around here.
Well, I don't want you to feel that way either.
Get the fuck out of here.
Here's the dents on my door from my neighbor coming at 3:30 in the morning, banging on my door like a maniac, denting it. There's how many dents? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And, well, we'll attach that with the audio of him banging down my door like he's coming to kill me.